Hello children. So I hope all of you are keeping well, taking very good care of yourselves. So I am back once again with a poem for your English literature session. So you must be wondering, no? We have just done a poem, The River, and today we are again with a poem. So if you have been following the instructions well, you will be able to recollect we have this poem for our project also. So before you start your project, let us see what this poem has to tell us. So please get ready with your books, and the poem is on page number 143. So as you can see, the name of your poem is Cypress Street. Now, cypress is a kind of tree. Okay, so the street is probably named after the tree cypress. Have you noticed any changes in the area in which you live? What are these changes? So let us read about changes that the poet noticed on a street called Cypress Street. So all of you, as you are growing, you must have seen lot of changes in your areas. Every day you see new buildings coming up, apartments are being built, isn't it? People are shifting from towns to cities. So gradually, what do we see? All the trees disappearing. So let us see what has happened on Cypress Street. I took a stroll down Cypress Street, the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. The one thing that stood out the most, where trees once stood, there were lampposts. I had never seen so much concrete. No cypress left on Cypress Street. According to my great Aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. They cut them down. They took their wood. A treeless street is plumb no good. Just like a treeless neighborhood. So tell the mayor next time they meet to change the name to Lamppost Street. So I hope you were following when I was reading so that you can be good with your pronunciation. I took a stroll. That means strolling means walking very slowly. Okay. So the poet says, here the poet, Michael St. Pierre says, I took a stroll. I was walking down the Cypress Street, the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. The sidewalk, that is the pavement, okay, where the poet is walking. It is hot. The one thing that stood out the most. Stood out means, you must have seen, in your class, maybe one child is very good at dancing. So we say this child stands out the rest. Means coming out in a different way. So something that was most noticeable. Something which the poet notices the most is that where there were a lot of trees, now there were no trees, there were lampposts. Just the previous slide you saw, where the name of the poem was written, we saw there were so many lampposts. So he says, where trees once stood, there were lampposts. What has happened to the trees? I had never seen so much concrete. So you all know what is concrete, that building material, no? They mix up all cement, water, stones and sand and everything, and they make buildings. So the poet says, I have never seen so much concrete, no cypress left on Cypress Street. So this is the punchline. The name of the street is Cypress Street. But then there is no cypress tree on Cypress Street. So you go to school, it's denobly mode, no? Your school is there, they say denobly school is here, it is denobly mode. So how can we call denobly mode if there is no denobly school? Same way the poet is concerned. How can we call it a Cypress Street? There is no cypress left on Cypress Street. According to my great Aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. So the poet recollects, the poet has an aunt, Aunt Jem. Great Aunt Jem means maybe someone who is very old in age. So great Aunt Jem, according to Aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. Them here are the trees. So there used to be a lot of trees. Now what has happened to them? They cut them down. They took their wood. So what have the people there done? They have cut down the trees, taken the wood of the trees, and a treeless street is plum no good. Plum no good means it is useless. A street without trees, according to the poet, a street without trees is useless because it's going to be very warm there, no? Just like a treeless neighborhood. Like if you have a neighborhood where there are no neighbors, then that is just useless, hopeless. Same way, a street without trees is also useless. So tell the mayor next time they meet. So you all know, mayor is the head of the city, no? The head of the town. So the poet says, now tell the mayor whenever next time they are meeting, they have meetings, no? To change the name to Lamppost Street. So he says, the name which you have kept as Cypress Street should not be Cypress Street anymore. Because you are not having trees over there. Isn't it? Because there are only lampposts. So let us change the name to Lamppost Street. So children, there's a message the poet wants to give us. You have been watching television and nowadays so many things are there available. In your school you are having so many programs. We are trying to make you aware, no, of the importance of nature, the importance of trees. We need to take care of trees. Not for the trees but for ourselves also, no? Trees provide us oxygen. They maintain the balance in the environment. There are no trees, there will be no oxygen. And there will be pollution everywhere. And you can see, how much man is already suffering for all the wrong things he has done. So we need to balance the nature, no? There's a chain. There cannot be imbalance. Okay. So we all need to save trees. We need to plant more trees so that our world becomes a better place. Now, as you all know, this poem has to be learnt by heart for your second semester. Okay. So you can write it down in your textbook itself that this poem has to be learnt by heart. And you very well know the poem which we learn by heart, we don't do the question answers and the other exercises. So this poem you will learn by heart and write it down very neatly in your copy. But you should also be able to read out the poem very well. I will just read it once again for you. Please follow the pause, the pronunciation, enunciation, everything and practice. Okay. Once again, just for you. I took a stroll down Cypress Street, the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. The one thing that stood out the most, where trees once stood, there were lampposts. I'd never seen so much concrete. No cypress left on Cypress Street. According to my great aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. They cut them down, they took their wood. A treeless street is plumb no good, just like a treeless neighborhood. So tell the mayor next time they meet to change the name to Lamppost Street. Okay? So all of you read the poem well, learn it and write down the poem very neatly in your English literature notebooks. That would be your assignment, okay? And remember to write the name of the poet. Now, as you know, this poem has to be done for your project also. So some of the children, we have given you instructions, but then there are still queries. In this video, I will just help you clear all your doubts, okay? Now see, this would be the first page of your project. You need to write down very neatly your name, class, section, roll number and the topic of your project. That is poem Cypress Street. I have just written it down simply. Now children, it is up to you. You can decorate the page, isn't it? It's the way, it's your style of presentation. You all are very creative, much more than me. Okay, so you can write it down nicely, decorate your first page, but please don't make it clumsy. Keep it neat. Try to use pencil colors because all the sketch pens and the crayons, you keep on rubbing them, the other side of your page will be spoiled. Okay, so keep it very neat. That is very, very important. Okay, keep it very neat. You can use your creativity, you can decorate. There is no nothing that you have to write it like this. But in case you are not able to make it, but see that all the instructions that I am giving you, the name, class, section, roll number, everything has to be written very clearly. And please see that you write your correct roll number and your section, okay? Don't make a mistake. So this would be your first page. Now when you turn, you will have a blank page, no, on the other side. So here you can draw the picture that is given on your page, in your book, okay, on page number 143. Now there are two ways. Either you draw the picture over here and color it, or you can do one more thing. You can draw the picture in a separate page, color it, and then you can cut that picture and paste it here. That work would be neater, okay? But it is up to you. It is up to you how you want to present your work, okay? Either you draw it here directly and color it, or you can take one separate page, white page, draw it nicely, color it, because in case there is some mistake, no, then your other side will also be spoiled. So you can color it nicely, cut it and then paste here. So that would also be okay. Okay, so 2 pages are done. Then you have the next page. So this is the same page. One side you wrote your name, this side you have pasted your picture. So this would be your final page. You will write your heading very nicely and write down the poem like it is written in your book, okay, in the proper rhyming scheme and pattern. Don't write it down as a story. The way it is written in your book, you will start from I took a stroll till lamppost reach, and then please mention the name of the poet, okay. Mention the name of the poet in the end and keep your projects very neat. They should not be untidy, okay. I hope you have no more doubts regarding your project and no more doubts regarding your poem. So all the best. Take good care of yourselves. Until we meet again. Thank you.